Well, you're looking at the start of a beautiful day. The red arrow, as we get started here, is going to pop up and identify a fisherman on the shore there who had cast his line all the way across his boating channel, and the boat in front of me picked up his line. You may see it up against the rocks there. Shore fishermen, please do not cast across a boating channel. If that line cuts the prop seal, that's an expensive repair. Heading out, water was extremely calm. I finally decided I'd just make a trip offshore. Tell you, it was a drastic change from what you're seeing that I was dealing with a week before when a storm front came through and I was out at the safety valve area trying to get back to port. I got drenched. But anyhow, as you can see, as I was transitioning from the channel out to the ocean, the water was fairly smooth, skies were clear, and after about 5.5, 6 miles of heading east, I was out where the big boys were playing. Out in blue water where all these sport fishing boats were, and large contenders. Majority of them were kite fishing, looking for sailfish. Well, obviously was not going to be kite fishing, so I got a couple of lures that I kept in my tackle box and put them out. Happened to find some patchy weed lines, so I trolled along parallel to them, keeping my fingers crossed, hoping that I might just pick something up. You never know. I could see little schools of maybe 2-3 inch bait fish underneath some of these patches. But I didn't get any hits, so I packed up and headed back inside to do some inshore fishing. And it wasn't too long before I had my first fish on the line. I had left my trolling motor extension handle at the house, which meant I had to kind of bend down every time I needed to make an adjustment. I wanted to keep the boat a little bit away from the mangrove, and poured in my first fish of the day. I had caught myself a nice size blue striped grunt. I really was not expecting to pull one out from underneath the mangroves, but I did. Anyhow, I took a quick measurement, 11.5 inches, and let him go. Nice specimen. Headed over to another area where I'd seen some tarpon on a previous trip. Since the sun was getting ready to go down, I thought maybe I'd have some luck. While I was working a topwater plug, I happened to see a school of mullet running past me, so I decided I'd change the plans again. Put the rod down, picked up the casting net, let the boat drift in on its own very slowly, and see if I couldn't net myself some finger mullet. I was just letting the boat just slowly drift back towards the area where I had seen them. Kind of felt like a heron watching for his meal. When I saw the school, went ahead and made a good cast and poured in some nice sized finger mullet. While it was nice getting this future bait, the muck that was coming up along with them wasn't the nicest thing to be throwing in the boat. I was just trying to net some fish real fast before I lost track of the school. Figured I could clean the boat later. So after a couple more casts, school had kind of disappeared. The sun was really getting down in the sky. Decided I'd better quit while I was ahead and start packing up to make the trip back. Well, I had a little bit of a task cleaning the boat up, putting the mullet in the live well, picking all the muck up, getting it back overboard, rinsing what was left away. storing the gear and just enjoying a nice evening ride back to the port. Really surprised that the GoPro camera was picking up as much ambient light as it was in these shots. You can actually see the flashes from the camera reflecting on my inflatable. Followed the chart plotter, picked up the channel lights, heading back in Homestead Bayside, and it wasn't long before I was pulling up to the dock. It's a really calm day, flat waters, even on a king tide and a super moon. Water was really up. But it was a beautiful day, much different than it had been a week ago. And I love riding around in a boat at night, just something about it with the lights on, the nav lights. I just enjoy it. But anyhow, it was a fun day on the water, as it always is. I want to thank you all for joining me, and wish you all wet lines and bent rods.